you. I would like to ask, is it really a good idea that we be maxing out our 401k contribution limits? For 2023, the max contribution for the plan is 22.5. If you're 50 and over, that jumps up to 30,000 a year. 401k is generally the most accessible and easiest way to save for retirement. So how important is it that we max it out every year?
Aaron, I think it's so important to start adding money to a 401k IRA very early in your career or early in your savings career. You can't start early enough. Now, that being said, I also believe you can put too much into a 401k. Is that when we're younger, we generally have lower taxes that we're paying. We may not be paying but 10% taxes on our money early on, and we're really pushing through and saving a lot. That in later years, we may be pulling it out at 30%, not just on what we put in, but on the growth for all those years. So I tell everyone, put your money in up to the match, and then let's look at some tax-free money, some investments that you can do that's tax-free for your future.
I'm glad you brought that up because I know strategic tax planning is something you specialize in. And so we have to take a look at the US debt clock, right? Which is now over $32 trillion. So it's a safe bet taxes are going to go up in the future.
It's one of my favorite and awful things to look at. Very colorful chart here, but as you mentioned, $32 trillion and the debt per taxpayer. Some people don't pay tax based on income, but I always focus to the bottom right there that if unfunded liabilities over 192 trillion, I mean, we
Yikes.
stress out about a $32 trillion deficit, which we should, but 192 in unfunded liabilities, which includes Social Security and Medicare. And as you pointed out there, liability per citizen 572,000 per citizen. Per taxpayer, you may pay more than that.
Oh, that is so stressful to look at, but such an important thing that we should know. So, if I am maxing out my contributions, we want to talk about maybe another drawback. If I'm maxing out my contributions to my 401k every year and then I become cash poor, but I need money for a big purchase, if I have to tap that account, I'm going to be facing some big penalties.
It's very painful because as we grow a little bit older, again, our incomes are generally growing. So we're paying a little bit higher tax rate, that margin of those last dollars that we pay. Then we pull money out of a 401k or IRA, we're paying, as you mentioned, the penalties of 10% just for touching it, and then the taxes on there. And many people don't ever put it back. So, yeah, look, it's such a great idea, again, to save. But if you get with someone who specializes and has a tax focus, you can match out or put enough in that IRA or 401k. The extra monies, put it in a tax-free program that you can access without any penalties.
Mhm. But what if I'm over 50 and now realizing that I haven't saved enough for retirement?
And unfortunately, I deal with that a lot of times that people didn't, they thought there was going to be more time. So
I
it's
know, right?
important again to, I call it hair on fire. Let's get to work. But again, even then, you still do not want to put all those monies into a tax deferred. Tax deferred, many people think that's tax free and we're growing money on those assets that we would have never had. While that's true, it's better to pay tax on the seeds and not the harvest. So it's very smart to say, yes, let's really start into an aggressive savings program. Let's do that with though. Let's look at some different accounts that we can use some great products that's tax free when we pull that money out. Then we didn't speak about it, Aaron, but also not just taxes on the seed of that 401k IRA, but Social Security gets taxed at a heavy penalty
Right,
as well.
right.
So it's important to have that to where I want money to pull out, but I want to have it in a spot where it doesn't increase my taxes on my Social Security as well.
There's a lot of planning that goes into this. Tax diversification, as you always preach, so important. So if somebody has questions about where they should be putting their dollars, Larry, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, have them call our office at area code 615-216-1048, or they can email me, Larry at sfabridge.com.
All right, Larry, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Have a great day.